In the 1960s, Dad was appointed to Wesley United Methodist Church in Bakersfield. And he was at that appointment for 7 years. So that was in the 60s. I can remember quite a few of the young families that were there. Fast forward, I guess like 40, 50 years, my son goes away to college. We reconnect with some of those church family friends out in Wisconsin. And the woman says how when she and her husband had moved from Wisconsin out to Bakersfield, they had heard that there was a young, forward-thinking Methodist minister, and that they wanted to seek that out. And I had no idea that they were talking about Dad until they said, and so we went to Wesley and we stayed at Wesley. Early on in Dad's ministry, he looked up to certain ministers really as mentors. And I know they kind of helped him navigate kind of conference life, and then I think in his later years with so much experience, he shared kind of in that level of history experience, knowing what could happen and what's worth angsting over and what's worth like letting just fall to the wayside and keeping marching on, yeah. Dad's clergy friendship provided him with a richer and deeper personal and professional life. And, I think about Dad's appointments, and there were highs and there were lows. And having fellow ministers sharing the highs meant, those good times spread, and share in the sorrows and the lows just softened tough years and appointments. And I know Dad appreciated those friendships, those conversations of wisdom and guidance. Yeah. So I can say that I feel like it's not my place to name names or anything, but I can speak to Dad's experience of, yes, just very deep, gratifying friendships with fellow clergy. I can speak only from personal experience that the endowment board came into prominence to me in Dad's retirement, particularly in the final years when I was really walking side by side with him, and we undertook the mundane and the important tasks together. And I think I realized at that time, when Dad was so familiar calling, I want to say Glenda, right? He would call her over the most little details, and she would answer happily, kindly. I never heard her say, Norman, you again, which I think I think a less kind person would have responded. But there is just a steady presence of the endowment board, and something that you, Jenny, said was that the endowment board is present from ordination on. I had not realized that, and I think that was really important. So I wanted to include that in my comments. It is a safety net, and personally, what struck me was it was, for me, it turned out to be a bit of an emotional safety net, just with the care and comfort that it offered after Dad died.